Five, four, three, two. What's up, Phoenix Suns Nation? Game 59 is in the books, and the Phoenix Suns get back to back wins and their ninth straight home win at Footprint Center. The Suns take down the Rockets 110 to 105. We are the Valley Boys. Stay tuned. Here's your post game reaction.
Kevin Durant delivers.
Gorgeous move for Bradley Beal.
Personally, I feel like that brother needed help.
Devin Booker with the clutch three.
Ninth straight home win for the Phoenix Suns, and they get back-to-back wins. Devin Booker drops 35 points this game. Had about everything. I mean, Book was going. Nurk was rebounding. There was a little bit of a scruffle. It got a little bit physical, which I love to see. You know, I'm maybe old-fashioned basketball fan, but like I got to see my players. I got to see my teams hate each other almost. You know, like we're not friends. We can be friends before and after, but when we're on the court, we are enemies. So I love to see that. And Devin always brings that kind of mentality. Don't you think, Ashton?
He absolutely loves, and we love him for it.
Exactly. He sets the tone. And just like anything, right? Like Devin sets the tone for this team. And when we see him come out being aggressive, like we did with his rebounds and his scoring in the first quarter, I mean, 26 points in the first half for Devin Armani Booker. Really great evening for him, which, I mean, in comparison to the game that he had against the Rockets last Friday, and if you guys want to see our post-game reaction for that, you can always click on that. We responded to that one. It's really great to see Devin Booker respond because he did not have the best shooting night against the Rockets last week. And Kevin Durant didn't either. So we'll talk about Kevin Durant. I mean, Kevin Durant, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Kind of, it's funny with Kevin Durant because it's weird to say that Kevin Durant had a bad game or he didn't have that great of a game or good of a game. But then you read out his stat line, it's like 24 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. It's like, oh, well. You know, but obviously KD holds himself to a higher standard. But Ashton, take us away. What are your initial reactions to this win? Break it down for us. What popped out to you? What concerned you? Go ahead.
Absolutely. This one was physical. And that's absolutely what we love to see from the Suns. All right. Every play of this game from beginning to end was absolutely physical. If you catch a highlight from this game, it's probably going to be people shoving everyone, bodies flying across the court. All right. There was so much fouls. It was crazy. Each team had 30 free throws. All right. This was a bloodbath, and that's what we like to see. This one goes for this one's a classic for me, as even though Suns and Rockets, they're not like natural rivals like the Mavs or like anyone else in the Pacific Division. This was more of a classic tale of old versus young. All right.
True.
Okay. To be fair, the Suns don't have like any octogenarians on their team. Like, we're not old. But in comparison to the Rockets, they're very young. So honestly, that really set the stage to a classic bout. And this time, experience just got the best of the Rockets.
That's very true. That's very true. And I think if you look at that first game, too, from last week, the Suns came pretty close. I mean, it took a really great game from Bol Bol to bring them near that. But you could see sort of the inexperience from the Houston Rockets' younger players begin to form in that game. And the Suns almost came out of Houston after a terrible, abysmal game. They were so close to getting a win. So, you know, I like the Rockets. I'm not going to hate on the Rockets. I like the Rockets. I like Udoka as their head coach. I like their players. I like Jalen Green. I like Sengun. Obviously, he got fouled. He didn't foul out. He got tossed out, which I think he may have something there, just to be honest, because, you know, they were it was, you're right. It was a physical game, and I feel like the refs, the officiating kind of were calling tic-tac calls, and just let those boys go in the paint. Just let it happen. I mean, the Bosnian beast Nurkic is lowering his shoulder, trying to get it up, and then Sengun's just this tall player just working his way. But he got tossed out of the game. But you're right, young players, and I like watching the Rockets play. I think they got something going with Van Fleet, obviously a little bit on the older side, being a veteran to the team. But this is so if you look at the schedule here, the schedule for the next month is intense. It is statistically the hardest schedule in the National Basketball Association for any teams in the NBA. The Suns have it tough, and you got to go out there and get these wins. I think that's why we were a little bit frustrated to see him drop a game to the Houston Rockets last time. Now, you don't want to ever say that you're going to sweep someone every single time and beat them and blow them out every time. But, the Suns should win these games. And I'm glad they did tonight. I'm really glad. What do you have to say, Ashton?
Absolutely. In a competitive West this year, every game really matters. It's just a tough one. Also, sidetracked, can I just mention how crazy of a week it's been for us Suns fans? I mean, the last time we had this talk was 3 days ago, randomly, just a random 3-day vacation. But we beat the Lakers last time. And when we were on that 2-game losing streak against Dallas and Houston, we dropped to 8th. But over the course of the weekend, the Kings, Pelicans, and Mavs all lost games, and now we're back in 5th. What?
That is, and we, obviously that Mavs game was hilarious as Suns fans to watch, to see them lose on a last-second shot by Max Strus to the Cavaliers. It really boded well for us. So definitely enjoyed watching that one. But you're right, the Western Conference is heating up. It's pretty insane, and we're not over it yet. I mean, a lot of things are changing. A lot of things can change moving forward. And I think I'll be honest, I think a lot of Suns fans were watching the games this past week and being like, oh, the Pelicans lost, the Mavs lost. That really helps us. But they're going to be watching us for the next month as we take on the Cavs, the Thunder, the Timberwolves, the Celtics twice. They're going to be watching us, and we got to be at our best, which makes me think, and I got a conspiracy theory here, that I think Bradley Beal has been ready to go since last week. Really? But maybe Vogel is holding out on Bradley Beal, knowing that if Bradley Beal is playing, that gives us our best stretch. So he's technically just saving him for the long stretch of games that's to come. That's my conspiracy theory. That would make the most sense to me.
Interesting. I mean, he was out for like a random reason tonight, right? It was like management or something.
No, I think it was like same thing with his hamstring or whatever it was. It was like tightness. And he's been practicing. I mean, he went a full practice. And he was listed as questionable, which is better than his status has been later on. But I'm not going to play Bradley Beal against the Houston Rockets. And as it stands, the Houston Rockets would, I think going into tonight's game, they were the 10th seed. So if the season ended today, they would be a play-in team. So this is a playoff game technically. But anyway, regardless, I digress. What I mean is I'm not going to play Bradley Beal and risk him re-injuring something or doing something just because we know Beal's a little bit, I got to be careful with my wording here. We just know Beal is a little bit more prone to injury than Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. So I'm not going to play him against the Houston Rockets rolling that dice. Now I'm going to play him against OKC. I'm going to play him against Denver because we need him to get those games. And 23 games left to go in the season. How are you feeling, Ashton? Where's your confidence level after we've seen these first few games after the All-Star break?
It's a bit shaky, and I do agree that March is really tough. But we just gotta see. We gotta find out.
So and it's very early, right? So it's after the All-Star break. We're only 4 games in. Suns are 2-2 technically, out of the All-Star break. But here's the thing, like I think Suns fans have a lot of hope because of what happened before the All-Star break. Like that 2-week, 3-week stretch that we had before the All-Star break was really good, and that gave us a lot of confidence moving forward. So let me ask you this. Obviously, big stretch of games coming up here in March. How confident are you in? Like, do you think this team can get it done with or without Bradley Beal?
Oof. I mean, we have to have Bradley Beal. There's just I can't imagine. I mean, we only got lucky with with Denver when KD and Book were going off, but they were playing like 40-minute games, and that's just not sustainable over a month.
Yeah,
it's really shaky, and it's such a tricky. It's really tricky to handle all of this going forward.
yeah.
And honestly, it kind of gives me respect towards the whole Suns organization for trying to pull all the right strings at the right time. It's no easy job.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it's important. So we know what to expect with this team when they have Bill. We're really good when we have Bill. Now, without Bill, that's kind of been the biggest question mark is like, can we win games? Can we close out games? And can other players step up? Now, the first 2 games outside of the All-Star break, they did not do that. Obviously, we lost 2 games against the Mavs and against the Rockets. And then you have the 2-game winning streak that we're on where we beat the Lakers and the Rockets. In both the wins, you see the surrounding players take that next step. You see those players contributing, scoring, and we have to give a special shout out. And this is probably the steal of the trade deadline. This is probably what might just save the Phoenix Suns season and their postseason hopes. It's Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal is lighting it up. I mean, he is jiving with all the players from the Phoenix Suns, and he's making a significant contribution immediately to this team. And he's come out of nowhere, and he can play defense. He can hit the three-point shot. He can get you rebounds, and he can distribute the ball. Royce O'Neal, we have a lot to be thankful for with Royce O'Neal, and he's been stepping up. Got his first start with the Phoenix Suns tonight, was in the starting 5. And don't underestimate that starting 5 lineup with Devin Booker, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and Yusuf Nurkic. Do not underestimate that starting 5 because they're really good when they're playing together. What do you got to say about Royce O'Neal, Ashton?
He's been perfect. He worked out a lot better than I think most of us would. I mean, there's such a huge question mark around the trade deadline, but I think it's so great, especially for what we got him for.
Exactly. I mean, we shipped off everyone that we knew wasn't really contributing, and really the players that unfortunately weren't panning out for us that we had hoped were going to pan out. And so they did. And so I want to, Royce O'Neal, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. And got to get a special shout out to one of our viewers, Maya Lopez. They are watching right now. A couple of comments in there. If you got a question, if you got a comment, put it down below so we can read it. Maya did say, I think we can win, but Bill needs to be in more, but it's hard. I hope that we can get to the top 3. What do you think about that, Ashton?
Yeah, I think I definitely stated a while back that I think a top 3 might be our peak, but just going forward, that might be a little too hopeful.
Yeah, and I think, it is all progression. You definitely don't want to be playing your best basketball right now. You want to be playing your best basketball come playoff time. So I really like the natural progression that we're seeing with the team, though. Like they are making improvements. We're seeing them get better. And I like the fact that if it's not Book and if it's not KD and if it's not Beal, like we've seen throughout this entire season, we've seen some of the supporting cast come through and have big days. Add Royce O'Neal to that list. Nurkic has been playing really well the past couple of games, had 22 rebounds against the Lakers on Sunday, had 14 rebounds tonight against the Rockets. Grayson Allen has always been that consistent part of the roster for us throughout the entire season with his having the number 1 3-point percentage in the NBA. So seeing him do great things. And then obviously seeing the emergence of Bol Bol in the past month or so, like there's hope with what we're seeing with this Phoenix Suns team, because we know KD, we know Book, we know Bill, right? But we need those other, and championship teams need that kind of performance. Like I can see it clear as day. I can envision the future that's what you need in the playoffs. Like you need one of these players to go off one of those games. I hate to reference this person, but remember the Landry Shamet game against the Denver Nuggets last year? Like that came out of nowhere, but that's exactly what you need on a championship roster, hopefully, is one of those players where Book and KD and Bill, they're going to be consistent. They're going to give you what they're going to give you. But then to make that next step and catch the other team off guard, you do need a player to just go off like that. And I like what I'm seeing so far with this team. And what we're seeing with the supporting cast, and it's growing and coming together at the right time. And so another comment here, they said they need to bowl in more. What are they saying? They need to play ball more and not have him on the sideline all the time. I would agree. I think he had some pretty valuable minutes tonight, 7 points, 4 rebounds. And that's what I like to see. I know Bol is not going to go off every time he's going to play, but if you can come in, provide good minutes, 7 points, 4 rebounds, heck, man, I'll take that any day of the week.
Absolutely. He got in a little foul trouble tonight, but I mean, he's been great. Plus 13. Absolutely what we need off of the bench.
Exactly. And you know, not to beat a dead horse, but the Suns aren't even fully healthy yet. You're out Nasir Little. Obviously, you're out Bradley Beal. And then you're also out Eric Gordon as well, who is one of our main shooters who can really spread the court and give our guys some space. But Ashton, who was the player tonight that you thought stood out? And I'll make it harder on you. I'll take Devin Booker out of. You can't say Devin Booker.
You know what? Here's the thing. My answer would be Devin Booker if he hit his 7th 3. Do you know this?
Yeah, that would be his career high.
Here's the thing. Let me throw one little statistic. Tonight is the 24th time he has tied his career made 6.
Right, yeah.
The man won't shoot more than 6 threes. What?
I think he does. He just can't make more than 6 threes.
He refuses to make the 7th 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But who outside of Devin Booker, who's your player of the game?
Ooh, interesting. You know what? I have to go with Nurkic this game.
Yeah.
So I watched this game with some family, and I turned over to said family, and I said, whoever the player who controls the ref controls the game. And that was Nurk tonight. All right. We saw it at the end there, how every time Nurk backed up Şengün, getting him in the post, foul, boom, easy foul. He was getting so much foul calls. And we saw Şengün get a little angry at the end there.
Yeah.
It was just inside of his head. He was in him.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I like when Nurk plays like that. He's very strategic about it. He understands the mismatch. Because you can be as tall as Nurkic, but Nurkic has like 50 pounds on you. The dude is huge. Doesn't look like it, but you feel it in the paint. And I love that he's able to take advantage in that way. And he did. Slight concern though that I do have moving forward is this hack of Nurk maybe that might be coming our way, sending Nurkic to the line, because he was 8 of 16 tonight, 50% free throw percentage rate, but 8 of 16. Now he did take off the bandage right about halfway, and he nailed 2 of them. So I don't know if that's actually the thing that's causing the issue, but regardless, even on top of that, a little bit of a struggle from the free throw line for the team as a whole, in my opinion, on top of Nurkic going 8 of 16. Definitely have to get better with that. We kind of saw that with the last game against the Houston Rockets, where they were struggling from the free throw line. It really costed them towards the end of the game. But, things like that, it just has to be tuned up. They got to be tuned up to take that next step. And hopefully they can do that. But that's where I stand with that. Because with the free throws, the Phoenix Suns were 25-37 tonight, which is not great. You missed 12 free throws. On the opposite end of that, the Rockets were 28-31. So that's kind of been an issue late in the game. And here's another comment here down below. It says, favorite player is Gordon, Allen, Beal, Nurkic, and Bull. Those are like more than one player, but thank you for the comment. It used to be Chris Paul, but he got traded. I'm still a fan of Chris Paul. Yeah, I got Paul right there on my wall right there. Shout out to Paul, who's obviously back from his injury. But yeah, I'll go with you, Ashton. I'll say Nurkic was the player of the game. I think it's really important for him to be that presence and, get those rebounds. It's so important, man. And I don't want to bring up, demons, but DA couldn't do that. DA was definitely finesse and agile, and he could get you points, but not on a consistent basis where Nurkic is just being that presence where he literally only exists down below to wreak havoc and get those rebounds. And I love that for Nurkic. I love what he provides to the team.
Absolutely. He's just great.
Exactly.
A great teammate too.
Yes, great teammate. I love Nurkic. Great teammate to the entire team, and really he's a team player. He's a team player. Now, I was a little bit concerned with the Phoenix Suns because they did turn the ball over a little bit. They got a little bit sloppy, and we can nitpick because it's the Houston Rockets, but stuff like that's not going to fly with the schedule that we have up and coming against the Thunder, against the Bucks, against the Timberwolves, the Celtics. We got to be on top of our A game. And I mean, the potential's there. We can climb up. Right now we're in the 5th seed, a couple of games back. The potential is there to jump up, but there's also the potential to jump down. And I think my confidence level, if I'm at a scale of 1 to 10, my confidence in this team right now to get it done and win majority of these games is right about like a 5 or 6, to be honest. Because I feel like they need outstanding performances from KD or Book. But and if we don't get that, then it's a toss-up. Then we're struggling. And so I just still need to see this on a consistent basis. I need to see us do this against a really good team, one of the better teams in the West or the East. How do you feel about that?
You sound like ESPN right now. I need to see this team more consistent. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, sure. You could say that. Yeah, it's been a little shaky on who's going to lead the scoring tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or maybe that works in the Suns' benefit, as in, okay, who do we guard tonight from the opposing team side?
Yeah. And then we got another comment from M. I'm going to take a wild guess on who that is. I think I know who it is, but M in the chat says, best trade we ever made, Ayton for Nurkic. Best trade we ever made was KD for Mikel and Cameron Johnson. And I think Jay Crowder was part of that too. But it was a 3-team trade. But that's the best trade. But Suns get it done tonight. Big win, back-to-back wins. You got to stack these winning streaks together. So this was really important. Now, like Ashton said earlier in the podcast, earlier in the show, we did have like a weird break. Like last game we played was on Sunday and we're playing Thursday. So we had like a 3-day break. But it picks up here. Like it's every other day that we're going to be playing for about the next week. So this is where boys become men. This is where pretenders become contenders. Like this is the stretch of games where you're really going to find out what type of team and what type of DNA this Phoenix Suns team has in these next stretch of games. I'm, for one, very excited. definitely anxious, a little bit nervous because we kind of spent this whole year and a half investing so much into this team. And I'm not going to lie, like if we end this stretch with the losing record, say next 10 games, we go like 4-6 or 3-7, I'm going to be a little bit disheartened. And I think we got the pieces. I really do. And it's going to take team effort. Vogel's going to have to play the right guys. Everyone's going to have to step up. But if we do manage to beat these teams and come out with the winning record, we would have put the league on notice. Bookmark that. If we come out of this, yes. By the way, did you get your books, Ashton?
No, I did not.
What do you think about the books as a Suns fan?
The book ones?
Yeah. Oh, no, the book. What are you talking about? The book ones, yes. The good book. What do you think I'm talking about?
I'm not a shoe guy. All right.
So you don't like them? Because that's what Book wants it to be. He wants it to be a shoe that transcends the court so that you could wear it. By the way, I really want them. I haven't gotten them yet. Hopefully soon. But that is all I got to say about this game. Suns come out on top by 5. They beat the Rockets. 9 straight home win, back-to-back wins. They're sitting at 35-24. I feel good, Ashton. You feel good about the game coming up on Saturday?
I feel good about that game coming up on Saturday. But also, real quick, are we just not going to mention the fight?
Sure, let's talk about the fight.
Okay, was it a foul? Was it a foul? What do you think?
Wait, we're talking about the fight with Book, right?
Yes. Whitmore and Book. Was it a fair call?
Well, it's so weird because they called a foul on Book and then they called the double tech on both of the players. Okay. So I think initially, unbiasedly, I was like, Book started that because you kind of see the shove from behind. But then you look at the replay, the Rockets player, after Book hits it, you could see the Rocket player give a little shove to Book on the back. And then they're both jogging back down the court. Then Book goes for the shove. He goes with his left arm. And then he retaliates. Rockets player kind of throws a punch, half punch, and then all hell breaks loose. I don't know. I'm going to say it's on both of them.
Really?
Unbiasedly, it's just, it's chirping, it started from the beginning too. Like, I think it was in the first quarter, Book hit a 3 and he was talking to someone on the Rockets bench or something like that. They were chirping. It was a very physical game. So that was just bound to happen. And then, Nurk and Sengun got into it and then blah. So I think, I think it was both.
Yeah. Looking back at it, that was a right call.
Yeah.
But initially, Whitmore should have been kicked out.
Oh, yeah. I think so. I think that would have called for, I think it was leaning towards that. But you know what I'm really going to love? I'm going to love all the Suns haters jumping online and being like, oh, look at Book. He's talking trash when he's up, because all they can do is quote Luka because Luka's the only one that could dare to say anything about Book. So they're going to talk trash about Book for saying that, but y'all are a bunch of NBA Twitter fans. You never watch the games. You just watch highlights and clips and get your information from Twitter or X.
Oh.
So you guys aren't real fans. You guys just react. You guys don't sit down and watch all 48 minutes of this game. You just see one little clip that ESPN posts for 5 seconds. You're like, man, Book is an a-hole. It's like, no, he's not. You don't even know what happened. Bunch of common fans, man. Bunch of common fans that never dribbled or shot a basketball in their life. I'm going off on this, man. I hate when people do that, man. I hate when people, and you're going to hear it. Look it up right now. Go on ESPN right now. Go on Bleacher Report, any of their social medias. They posted that clip tonight. And everyone's going to be like, oh, Book's acting all tough. Book needs to be humble. Oh, Luka's son's at it again. Like, it's all of it again. You guys, you know what? Just whatever. We'll take the heat. We like it. Book is great. Top 10 player in the NBA right now. He puts up great numbers. One of the best in the league. Nothing else to say about it. Y'all just haters. Y'all just hating on my guy Book. That's all it is.
Wow. That's all I gotta say.
That's all I gotta say. And that's it. We're out. I will be out Saturday. Your boy Ashton here, one of the Valley Boys, will be covering Saturday night's game against the Rockets. But don't worry, I will be back for the game after because we will be taking on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the hot Oklahoma City Thunder. So very exciting stuff. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more Phoenix Suns content. And we will see you guys later. Peace out.